Heyo everybody, Haku here for this week's live reaction bingo for One Piece. We have chapter 1115. I'm very excited to get into this one. Before I forget at the beginning of this, I will, as always, leave a bingo card so that you can also play bingo down in the comments and description, because it's fun to play along. It gives me something to show on screen, something else to do that helps me, instead of just reading through the chapter, discuss things more. So you can generate your own. The options that are available are different. There's like 30 options. So what you get on your card, or what you get on your card, and the order you get it in is going to be different. I always update it between each new chapter, so you can do that to play along. And also, if you want these videos early, I post them when scans come out as soon as I can get to it. It came out late last night on Thursday for me, so I'm not recording it until Friday. So I didn't record it late last night, so as soon as I can get to the scans, this goes out for patrons and channel members. So if you want to hit join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or link will be in the description. You can become a patron or member, help me to keep making videos, but also get these One Piece videos specifically a little bit early. They go out live for everyone when the official translation comes out, just because I don't want to use a title or a thumbnail or anything that'll be spoilery, so I can just add that in before I make it go live when the official comes out. Again, I still don't use spoilery stuff, but just for people who don't want to know anything, I can avoid that before the official comes out. And then also, yeah, I don't want to spoil people. And it also doubles as giving patrons and members just a little something extra as thank you. But yeah, let's read. I'm super excited to see what we have this time around. At the end of last time, we had a break, but we had the mention of from Vegapunk's thing, his broadcast. He was telling the world about Joy Boy, who, just like Nika, he was just like Nika, and he was the first to sail the seas, maybe first pirate, I guess. So it leaves me with a lot of theories. Are we actually going to get to learn stuff? I hope we do, but Oda does very often not tell us everything. That's a very usual thing, and I feel like most of the time that's actually something that One Piece does very good. The mystery behind the world building is probably one of One Piece's best aspects, so keeping that mystery there and not giving us stuff too early is good, but then there are also occasionally times when you're like, maybe we learned this a little too late. But I think it'll probably be good. I hope we get to learn a bit. Will we actually get to see Joy Boy? Who knows? Again, it just seems like probably not, because I don't want to get my hopes up too high for us really seeing things. But I think that something that I said last time around, and also if we're getting into Joy Boy stuff, the Karen and/or Zunisha space, we might have a chance there, because we might get to learn some more about what went on with Zunisha. But it's kind of like what I was saying last time, where it'll be interesting. He was mentioned to be like Nika. If we find out that Nika's the one who originally made the devil fruit, however you make them because of them being dreams or whatever, or he was the first to have the fruit, probably before it even got the name, and then sometime later, maybe the second one with the fruit was Joy Boy, and now again, another hundreds of years later, Luffy is now the one with the fruit. I think that could be maybe the way things go, and that could be an interesting way of doing all of this. So I'm thinking about that, because again, when it comes to what devil fruits are and everything, my thoughts has been for a while now, since Wano, when we found out with the Aspel-Nomi and everything, I feel like devil fruits are what you think they are, because it's why can dinosaurs do all the crazy things that King and Queen did? It's because they said, oh, they can do that. Why does the straw fruit work the way it does for Hawkins? Because he's seeing it in this kind of, he's seeing it in this way. He's seeing it in the occult kind of voodoo-ish way, instead of just as straw, the building material. I think what you think the fruit does in some way kind of limits or controls what you can do with it. And I think that's the thing with Luffy. He started out being able to stretch, and then he's like, well, if I can stretch, I can pump my blood faster, or I can grow larger, and ends up with second and third gear. And then eventually he's just like, I can stretch everything, and we get all the way to gear 5th. I think what you think it does plays a role in what it actually does with devil fruits being dreams and everything. But with all that aside, long intro for One Piece this time around. Let's see what my card is. So let's see, hopefully I get a generous one. We have silhouetted character, Joy Boy face reveal, that's going to be a hard one. Admiral, Vegapunk, revolutionary other than Kuma, Zoan transformation, Gorosei, Cross Guild, any island other than Egghead, a named attack, Smoker, Law or Kid, Free Space which we can click, any Straw Hat member, Blood Sweater Tears, Bounty Reveal, Named Character Death, Devil Fruit Awakening, Yonko, Carrot and or Zunisha, we might get some Zunisha stuff, Pacifista, Ancient Robot, Food, Nika mentioned, or Vivi Wappler Morgans. So, with all that aside, let's finally get to reading. This is called Chapter 1115, Continental Fragments. And this time, it looks like, I was about to say Kiku, that's Hiyori, and Otoko with Yamato this time. Oni Child Yamato in the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage Volume 5, getting a bento from Hiyori and Otoko, and I just thought about this. I was like, yeah, whatever. Finally, we get food again. And not only do we get food, because I think cover stories should count, maybe like, not non-canon like the request covers or the color spreads, but cover stories I think should count, so we get any island other than Egghead as well. And I think that might be it for now. Yeah, I was wondering if they would be sweating from the work of making the bento, we might get blood, sweat, or tears, but apparently not. Into the chapter proper. The flower capital Wano. Okay, so we're back to Wano Piece in general. The news shakes Wano too, and we have the Straw Hats flag up at the capital. It's hard to believe this foreign transmission's reaching us. Now, you may be wondering how he came to be known as a pirate. We found the snail in the castle among Orochi's possessions. So you were a pirate, Joy Boy, just like Luffy. And we've got Kinemon and Momonosuke with Shinobu and Otama. You know of him, my lord. It feels like so long since I've sat through Wano Piece, but also, yeah, like I know it feels like we just left, but it also actually now feels like so long since we left Wano Piece. But we have more food. Jail cell at the G4 Naval Base. Ex-fake Luffy, Damaro Black. Joy Boy, we are really, these past two chapters, seeing like every character in the series at this point. Joy Boy, who cares? I bet you could easily beat him. Right, Captain Kidd? And they're the Kid Pirates now. That's funny. Duh, the man's already dead. That's our Captain. The only thing bigger than his confidence is his belly. And I love, yeah, the fake Sanji has his face painted as Killer's mask now. And the other guy is like Heat or Wire or whatever their names are. Yeah, I'm clearly a million times tougher than this Joy Boy, or this Joy Toy. It's Joy Boy, boss. Do bear in mind, I only have access to a handful of poneglyphs, and we have some sweat on one of these marines, I'll click that in a second, but their combined narrative clearly chronicles an unbelievable history about a great war in the distant past. And we have the lineup of ships. During that period, Joy Boy faced an enemy, the organization now known as the World Government. Wait, isn't that us? Well, he did say it was a pirate. Vegapunk! And we still have Dory Brogy and Luffy running from Topman. Well, back then, they were merely the Allied Powers, a temporary coalition consisting of 20 separate kingdoms. Okay, we are really getting some backstory here. And we go to the broadcast lab where Mars is. It can be assumed that an alliance was the only feasible way to oppose the formidable faction to which Joy Boy belonged. Okay, so he had his own faction. I'm afraid the cause of this conflict still eludes me. So, sorry, I'm trying not to get too hyped. I'm seeing this next panel. So I do not presume to judge the morality of the combatants. I like this too, the way that this broadcast isn't just, oh, world government evil, but Vegapunk is just laying out the straight facts. He's like, hey, I can't say anything about the ideologies. I can't say anything other than what I have come upon, scientifically when it comes to the actual historical record. I like that he's just laying out the facts and letting the people of One Piece's world decide. So I do not presume to judge the morality of the combatants. I can, however, say that this war was a clash of two opposing ideologies. I mentioned earlier that Joy Boy was born into a fantastical civilization. And we see, I can't stop reading to check the board right now. We have Zoe New World. We're finally seeing Zoe. One so advanced that it's hard to believe it existed over 900 years ago. And we see Carrot and the Musketeers. The weapons that existed during this century-long struggle are far beyond our modern science. That's amazing. We have Foxy. Post-time skip Foxy. What's that peanut-headed fool saying? And man, Oda really just dropped the ball on Carrot's character so hard. But I mean, hey, what do you expect? Common Oda post-time skip L. Oh, boss, you're making me hungry. Such technology is baffling, even to a genius such as myself. He's so big-headed. Poo, 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 poo. And therein lies our problem. Labistratum. Gotcha. Okay, let's mark off a few of these, because we have a few. So, I don't think we have silhouetted character yet. No Joy Boy face reveal. We didn't get an Admiral, actually. We've got Vegapunk. No Revolutionaries yet. Or a named attack that I remember. We jumped all around. We haven't seen Cross Guild. We have seen a Gorosei. Multiple of them, actually. We have seen a Zoan transformation. No Smoker, no Lar Kid, right? Oh, what? Do we go? We should go with the Luffy Chopper joke of not. Yeah, we should mark Kid. We have to go with the Luffy Chopper joke of we can't tell. We can't tell. We saw Kid. That was him. He was in prison. We saw him. Kid was right there. Any Straw member? Have we actually seen any? Oh yeah, Luffy was running away. And that also counts as Yonko. And quick, Nika's been mentioned, right? Hold on. I'm pretty sure he has. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the chapter. I won't mark it quite yet. I'll have to go back and relook. But we got Carrot and Zunisha. We got Blood Sweater Tears. We are filling this thing out. This chapter is given so much. Devil Fruit Awakening. We've got Gear 5th Luffy. Named character, I guess not. I don't think we've seen the Pacifista or the Ancient Robot that I remember. We haven't seen Vivi, Wapple, or Morgans. So, okay, I think it's just up to Nika mentioned. You know, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch and everything. Let me just glance back through really quick. So, yeah, actually, no, that was just last chapter. They haven't mentioned Nika yet, actually. Oof. Yeah, they're just talking about Joy Boy. Youch. Okay, so actually no bingo yet. Some of you might have already got one, because I filled in a lot there. And then, Stussy. Somebody's wheezing. It's me. Edison? Lower the barrier and hightail it out of there. But I can't. What if something were to happen to the Straw Hat crew? I'm gonna be straight with you. There ain't no point in the barrier no more. Not when there are monsters on the island who can ignore it. And now we're seeing Saturn in his human form. We've done all we can for him. I'm sure they'll make it out somehow. How much longer, Jinbei? And Jinbei's running out of there with Zoro. My apologies, we're almost there. There's nothing to apologize for, we were busy. Is that you, Zoro? You're gonna get it later. Now hurry up, they're moving their ships to blockade the northeast coast. I'll never forgive you if we get blasted out of the water after all this. And we see the Giants' ship. I was just wondering if we were actually seeing the Sunny yet, but no, it's not in any of these panels. That's good to hear. I was worried Stella would never forgive me if I let them get caught. As if. Now get your ass out of there. But I don't know what to do with myself. Huh? Now that Stella's gone, who am I meant to live for? I have no purpose. And Kaku is listening on. Don't let him use his sword. And we still have the Sanji. We don't see Frankie here, I don't think, but we have the Sanji, Frankie, Omoi, and Kashi and Bonnie group fighting against Venus Jiro. This geezer can cut anything. Sense the living voices. And he attacks Bonnie. Bonnie, get down! And Frankie's able to pull her out of the way. Ah! And he cuts straight through the figurehead and the top of the mast of the Viking ship. I can't maintain distorted future for very long. The Void Century ended with Joy Boy's defeat, and we see the ancient giant and Zunisha. How much do you intend to say, Vegapunk? He's leaving. There are too many life forms up there, or up here. But the aftermath had grander consequences. The wake of that ancient conflict scarred the world, and those scars never healed. And he cuts the entire island. What the? And we see the Seraphim? The Seraphim exist? They're still around? They didn't just get retconned out of existence? And all the Cypher Pole members start falling. We all know travel between islands can be excruciatingly difficult. The seas one must travel are so vast and perilous. Most people are content to live and die at their place of birth, never experiencing any culture other than their own. Isn't that a bit obvious? Yeah, everyone knows seas are dangerous. That's common knowledge to us now, but it wasn't like that 1,000 years ago. And we see Zoro's home village. A cataclysmic ecological disaster occurred during the Void Century. The ancient world was swallowed by the ocean. We're now living atop the remnants, continental fragments of land masses that once were, and we see the sunken civilization. So just it's kind of, again, like with Wano, just the very tips are sticking up out of the ocean, and under the ocean is the entire civilization that was left behind. And we see the revolutionaries now. Say what? And it looks like they're all together, so I guess maybe they're not going to be showing up here at Egghead. The world of a millennia ago sleeps, unseen at the bottom of the ocean. I know it's hard to believe on my word alone, but there really were multiple vast continents back then. This is insane. Hey Nojiko, where do you think you're going? The whole world's at stake. And Nojiko's walking away as we see the rest of Kokoyashi Village? Was that their name? Fill me in later. I've got to check on the Tangerine Orchard. Nojiko! This change in the world helps explain how a century of history could be censored. A feat that seems nigh impossible, but it makes sense when you consider the undeniable conclusion all the data points to. Within a mere century, the average sea level rose by a staggering 200 meters. What? You're kidding? 200? A warship's only 60 meters tall. No wonder the old world disappeared. Hey, stop listening to this crap. We have work to do. And we're going to see a lot of people like this maybe turning on the world government. The Seraphim and all those imprisoned Cypherpole agents were spotted falling out of the lab building. We've got to rescue them. Did you hear that? His tall tales keep getting taller. The old fart's lost his marbles. What a joke. And we have a bunch of people laughing, probably at the Mocktown bar again. Sakura Kingdom, Chopper's hometown. Is that really possible? We have Dalton and Kureha. Even now, the world still finds a way to keep things interesting. That mountain's around 200 meters. You're saying something like that, or something that tall would be submerged. That's awful. How many people died? And we have somebody wearing like a egghead-looking hat. It looks, and she's eating the rice crackers too. Is that, what was her name? Marianne? The, Miss Golden Week? Is that Miss Golden Week? She has like a, Vegapunk hat on. That begs the question, how and why did such a flood occur? Naturally, your first inclination might be to assume it was some kind of natural disaster. However, I can say for certain that it was no such thing. It was a man-made calamity. You can't be serious. And we're seeing Vivi Wapple Morgans? If this we could just fill in the entire board. Hold on, let me look at what I'm at. Let me take a moment really quick. I don't think we've had a silhouetted character that I remember. No Admiral still. We saw the Revolutionaries. Did we technically get a named attack with Bonnie mentioning her future? I don't know. I don't know if that should count. So I don't 100% remember. We did get Vivi Wapple or Morgans. My luck, I am like one away here, one away here, one away here, one away up here. I'm one away from bingo in so many different places. And then we saw the ancient robot. Do the Seraphim... I'm not going to count the Seraphim for Pacifista because I have them as their own separate option you could get, I think. But we may have seen Pacifista that I'm just forgetting about. So let me get back to reading. So yeah, it was a sphere. If this catastrophe was brought about by natural means, there'd be records denoting early warning signs several centuries earlier. It was a severe world-altering event after all. But my research into meteorology, geology, ecology, and atmospheric science confirmed that there was no such natural buildup. It's impossible for such a drastic change to happen spontaneously within the span of a mere 100 years, meaning the cause lies elsewhere. My suspicions were confirmed a few days ago, when I analyzed the world's current sea levels. This will be hard to accept, but that disaster 800 years ago was caused by ancient weapons, technology capable of sinking the world. And that same firepower evidently still exists, just waiting to be used again. In other words, the Great War, which ravaged the world during the Void Century, is still ongoing, and we see Emu, the genius, sheds light on a forgotten history. You know what? That might be that is silhouetted character for Emu. Unless this is just what Emu looks like. But I'm gonna say silhouetted character for Emu. I'm gonna say we got it. So wow, what a chapter. That is the lore drop of lore drops. That explains almost all of, I mean, like, not the details, but that gives us the general gist of One Piece's full history, really. Like, it gives us the general idea of everything, which is crazy. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very, very good, but I've got to go get this video made for all of you. So, thank you for watching. You all, I hope you got bingos as well. You probably did, because wow, we filled in a lot. Thank you, though. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to... like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, my first thoughts and reactions. Subscribe for more One Piece, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it is free and open for anyone. If you would like to help support the channel, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you want to play along, then I'll leave the links in the comments and description to make your own card. But if you want to help support the channel, to help me to keep making videos, you can, you know, drop a super thanks if you'd like to. But if you want these videos early, if you want a shout out at the end of every video, then go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron, or just hit join down below to become a member. Either way works. Thank you so much to patrons and members. Thank you to Chosen Regular, Evan Hawley, Magical Girls, Evernono and Abyss Knight, Sheridan Students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pateo de Owl. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time.